Hello, this is Kaylin Huntrass, and today I'm going to tell you 4 things that I like and 4 things that I would improve about allstarsolutions.com.au. The first thing that I like about this website is the color scheme. The yellow, the white, and the dark gray. It's really simple and bold, and it stands out, and it means that there's not a whole lot to confuse you with different colors. And it makes things like this little phone widget here really stand out as the blue as a highlight color. And it's because everything else is in this muted undertone that I think does really well. That's the first thing that I like. The second thing that I like is this map, the coverage map. It means that anybody who is in a place that has a color here, they're thinking, oh, this will work for me. Everybody's going to try and self-identify where they are. I mean, New Zealand is a little crooked and Christchurch is on the wrong side of the South Island, so maybe it needs a little tweaking. But I like this a lot because it gives the user an ability to self-identify. That's the second thing that I like. The third thing that I like is all these services here in the dropdown. When you hover over IT services, you get this big list of all the different things that they can do. And so I'm given like a variety of options for how they can solve my problems. So that's the third thing that I like. The fourth thing that I like is down here, the logos. They're grayed out unless you hover over them, and then it stands out. The general rule is, we don't want to have color logos that distract from the brand we're trying to interact with. And so the grayscale logos this is best practice. But seeing these colors on the hover, this is above and beyond. That's really well done. So those are the 4 things that I like. And now I'll share with you the 4 things that I would improve. And the first thing that I would improve is the contrast. This color scheme, I do like it, but it means that some of this is hard to read. I can't really read these testimonials. When I go to the footer, unless I hover and I see it in yellow, this gray on gray is kind of hard to read. And this dark logo down here, I can't even tell it's the same one. We see this a lot on these icons. I think these icons could be 50% darker, because right now they're fading into the background so much, and the yellow as the having the yellow as the non-hover, it means that we can't. Yellow on white's hard to read, and so I would put in a little bit of a text shadow here. Like if I just came in onto the headline and I said, let's do a text shadow of 1 pix with a little bit of black, right? Oh, I didn't get it. I don't have it on the right section here. Okay, so I can't do this on the fly, but a little bit of text shadow on those headings would help a lot. That's the first thing I could improve. The second thing that I would improve is I'd update this header on the homepage. I mean, COVID-19, it's old news. People aren't really having difficulties because of COVID in getting people into their server. And so I would update this. I think this is a strong call to action. Your on-call ICT department. And this distracts from it. So I think keeping this as your sole above the fold call to action, I think that would be better, and just leaving this second side blank. And if you do need to keep this, to move it down further. All-star services right here, it doesn't give us a whole lot. You could put the COVID-19 there in a little breakout box. So that's the second thing I would improve. The third thing I would improve is I'd have the case studies featured a little better. Like right now, if you go to case studies, we see them all. I like the featured image hover, but I'm not sure about this plus. I might do something like a border shadow on the hover, but I noticed that some of these are different sizes. When we look at more case studies, I get featured images in different sizes, and this confuses me. This is only in the more case studies widget. We don't see this on the case studies page. So, that's something I would improve. And the fourth thing that I would improve is I was looking over here on Office 365 migrations, and I said, hey, I want to learn more about the data center relocation. And I got this because it just looks to be some sandbox links. When I'm guessing that when this was in a sandbox, this was used on a previous version. And so I would use a 404 plugin, and I'd go through and clean all this up. I also ran a report on GTmetrix. There's some hosting things that can be improved here. You know, the time to first byte is almost 800 milliseconds, and we're not getting the time to interactive until almost 2 seconds. You know, there's some easy things that could be improved with you know, like the images. If we scale them so that the browser doesn't resize them and we get them exactly the right size, you know, that's something that could save some time. But this waterfall tells me that there's some hosting issues that can be fixed. I mean, just as soon as we request it, there's quite a wait of almost a second before we start loading, and then there's a lot of things down here that we could update to get a faster load time. So those are the 4 things that I like and the 4 things that I would improve about allstarsolutions.com.au. If you'd like your own homepage reviewed, go to stellarplatforms.com. Have fun out there.